Hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week, and we are very happy to welcome you to our show titled Speak of Africa. Thank you very much, my dear friends. This is Easter, and Easter stands for the rise of Christ. Some of us who are Christians take this day very seriously. It's a day pregnant with a lot of meaning. Christ has risen. Christ is not dead. But the challenge on Easter, as we celebrate, is a new message of hope. I was listening to Pope Francis deliver his Easter address. He was talking about obstacles to peace. There is so much trouble in the world. There is so much trouble in Africa. There is so much trouble in Ukraine. A lot of innocent people are suffering and dying. But there are people who are really the architects of all this trouble. They don't want this trouble to end. Similarly, you have people who want the suffering of people in Ambazonia to continue unabated. The message of the Pope is a message of peace. You have warmongers who do not want peace to return to Ambazonia. You have warmongers in La République du Cameroon who just want to make money to profit from the war effort. Thibaut Nagy came out again today and was really complaining about the Anglophone situation and was even criticizing the crisis group. When we look at what is happening in Ambazonia, like this week, we think Ambazonia has risen to fall no more. And that's the message on the minds of so many people in this part of the world. Ambazonia is risen. Ambazonia has risen to fall no more. This is the never again generation of Africans. Their forefathers could tolerate dictatorship, but the new generation is sick and tired of dictatorship, and they have sworn to fight La République du Cameroon and gain their freedom. This new generation does not want to be slaves of La République anymore. As much as the government of Paul Biya keeps concentrating on the concept that the form of state is non-negotiable. By contrast, the people of Ambazonia are saying, we the people should have the power. We the people should have the power to decide the form of government that we want. A dictator cannot dictate to us what form of government should govern us. We, the governed, should actually be the arbiter. We should decide our form of government. A dictator should not say, I've been here for 40 years and I'll stay until I die, so don't speak, I'll continue killing you. Well, the killing continues unabated, and that's what we see in this part of the world. Canada this week also sent an envoy, hoping to restart the store peace effort. But it looks like at the last minute, the government of Paul Biya decided to dishonor this engagement. They had already agreed that Canada should come to La République du Cameroon so that they can settle, so that they can start making some peace efforts. But at the last minute, this government chickened out. They decided that no, the Canadian envoy should not come to their country to discuss peace. So you can see that a lot of elements in this Biya government are warmongers. They do not like peace to return to this region. Why? They are benefiting a whole lot from the war effort. War is costly. War is expensive. And you have a lot of merchants of Venice, merchants of vice, who are benefiting from this war, and they want this war to continue. Interestingly, some of these merchants of Venice or merchants of vice are Anglophones. They are people from the northwest and southwest areas. But they are people we call Anglophiles. They are the ones promoting this war. In fact, sometimes people even in Mr. Biya's cabinet are too stoned to think that the Anglophones are even proposing stiffer penalties to be meted out to the people in the northwest and southwest regions These people are supposed to be their brothers. But they are telling Mr. Biya's cabinet to kill them because they think that by saying this, they will be on the side of the enemy. This is a shame. And it looks like when you look at what is happening on the ground, a lot of the people of Ambazonia are strategizing. Then the Ambazonian diaspora is also strategizing. We have a whole lot of musings. People are talking and organizing. It looks like a conference maybe be taking place in Belgium. Then people are talking in other parts of the world, the way they have to strategize, unite, and fight La République du Cameroon. They are talking about ways that they can change their tactics. And this is what is going on in this part of the world. So a lot of talk is going on, and you can see it. People are talking. President Marietta Njomia, you can see her, she's organizing. Then you have people like the Sako and Ayabacho are also strategizing and organizing to free the homeland. So that's what is in the air in Ambazonia. If La République thinks they can defeat Ambazonia, it looks like they are smoking something. They will never defeat Ambazonia. You look at the vaunted General Buba Dubakrio. The people are saying he's missing in action. When he was sent to Ambazonia on a deadly mission, people were like, wow, this guy is going to wipe out the Ambazonia Restoration Forces in 2 days. It's been years, and he has failed. So nothing has just been happening. So that's the truth about it in this part of the world. Then when you look at La République du Cameroon, it's really a shame. When you look at La République du Cameroon, not really much is really happening. People are just talking about when is Mr. Biya going to die so that we can take over the control of the country. So people are just sitting and talking about waiting for the death of Mr. Biya so that they can take over the country. But when is this going to happen? Well, Mr. Biya is not dying anytime soon. His enemies are really angry that the guy is living. They want him to die, but he's not dying. And you look at those who are really jockeying for position. You have the camp of Laurent Esso. Then you have the camp of Ferdinand Gongo. So the two camps are fighting each other. They are fighting for supremacy. While Mr. Biya is in the middle. So which side is going to win? Which faction is going to win? It remains to be seen. That's what we see in this part of the world. So we're asking you to continue watching. We are watching. Each time we see any new stuff in Ambazonia, we'll let you know. For a change, news got us that La République du Cameroon is introducing an online visa system. The online visa system will be launched on April 30th. So probably in 2 weeks, if you're applying for a visa to get into that country, you can apply online and you get your visa. So we're going to get more details on this introduction soon, but we'll let you know once things are concrete. We know in this part of the world, we're even doubting how effective the system will be working. Are the websites well equipped to be able to handle online business? Rwanda has done this effectively, so it remains to be seen whether La République du Cameroon will be able to do it on a level that Rwanda has done to digitize services for the people. We're going to see. If this works, then we'll load La République du Cameroon. Next, we'll take you to Burkina Faso. Well, the United Nations and other world powers are complaining that the military junta is clamping down on press freedoms. They are asking a lot of newspapers, TV stations to leave the country. And it looks like the average citizen does not have the right to speak anymore. So the military junta led by Ibrahim Traoré is not allowing freedom of speech. So this is what is really troublesome and worrisome to a lot of people in this part of the country. But we think that as the jihadi situation worsens in the country, there's going to be more dictatorship. And you should expect this in a military regime. So the guy who used to present himself like the poster boy of the revolution of Thomas Sankara We told you before, it's no Thomas Sankara. And that's exactly what is happening. On a lighter note, we've been telling you about Congo, DRC, and the Republic of Congo in that region of Africa. But we'll have a light moment where I think one of you guys sent us a video which we want to share with you. In this video, we know that Congo has had a lot of problems. In Congo, Republic of Congo, you have Denis Sassou Nguesso. Then in Congo DRC, Congo Democratic, you have Felix Tshisekedi. But in Congo, we're showing you a video that one of you sent to us. We are trying to find out where this video came from, because in this video, they are speaking Lingala. And you know, Lingala is spoken in the two Congos. So we're trying to find out where this video actually took place. But in this video, a general of the army, a cheating general, is humiliated by his wife. And the wife is like, "Why are you cheating, boy?" Man, she was just taking this guy to task. Take a minute and watch this video about this cheating guy.
Você maluco você? Essa poça zonga na katanda koyo. Zoela enda kuwekele, kizoela enda kusubi wako zoela. Awate na emission awate. Awate tandis que ngasaka na zao. Atama koloni awate. Atama koloni ate na emission. Atama koloni ate. Longwa. Atama koloni awate. On ngasaka na yo mona na gute lese. On nga jouer. On zo ngasaka na. Na emission. Boniko. Nayoki mama. Nayoki. Moko ne teni. De longwa. Asimbi teni. Ai longwa wa. Zoba. Tokei. Moko ne civil asimbi teni. Zoba. Longwa wa. No be nani. Moko yo zaposa osonse awa. Moko yaki oswa ngabo sakanela mosinga ngai. Mama Sara, mama Sara. No be nani. Ai longwa. Longwa. Wo. Moko ne teni moko. Yes.
Thank you very much for watching the video about the cheating general. So this is a lesson to the men out there. Don't cheat, because if you cheat, you have women who will really humiliate you and get you into a lot of trouble. And this is what we saw in this video. Next, we take you to Nigeria. This morning, we woke up to the news of a lot of killings in Benue State. And we saw Mr. Buhari doing what he does best, always making nonsensical speeches. No effective action. This guy has ruled Nigeria for 2 terms. He promised to restore security in the country. But even after these rigged elections, we're still telling you that there is insecurity in Nigeria. Governors are being kidnapped. People are being killed. Then, of course, look at what happened in Benue. So many people lost their lives. So every day, the loss of life through violence, through non-state actors like jihadists, is very, very rampant. It's no longer like an isolated incident. When I look at this, it reminds me of gun violence in America, where every week or 2 weeks you hear that a crazy guy has shot 2 or 3 people. This is what is happening now in Nigeria. Nigeria has a lot of resources. Why is it that the leadership of that country cannot come up with a plan to stem the tide of jihadist activity? Why can he not come up with a plan? Why must he always just rush to send the military to kill innocent people? But he allows these jihadist lunatics to roam freely in the country and kill people at will. This is a question we're asking, and a lot of our viewers are asking this same question. Mr. Buhari, we know soon it will be May and he has to pack his bags and return to Dora, where he comes from. But when we look back, we say his government has really been a fiasco. A fiasco. We think probably Bola Tinubu might actually do better from the way we see it. At least he has a history of doing well. As much as people complain of his age, but it looks like he has a record of doing big things and doing things well. Mr. Buhari is just a failure. He's all over the place, making speeches, holding security meetings. Even after these security meetings are held, we don't see any positive results coming out of these meetings. We don't see any strategy to rein in these jihadist activists, these perpetrators of violence against innocent civilians. We're hoping that with somebody who says he's a military general, we're hoping that he can come up with a strategy to stem the tide of insecurity in the country. But so far, he has come up with no strategy. It looks like he doesn't really know what to do, and he's saying, I'm ready to pack my bags and go. So what some Nigerians are saying is, what are you really waiting for, Mr. Buhari? Just resign now and go, so that somebody else can take over the country and start doing things for the people. For over 8 years, you've not done anything to help your people. Because when we look at the news from Benue State, it's very, very sad news. So many Nigerians have died, so many. How many more Nigerians have to die before we recognize that insecurity is a serious problem in this part of the world? So we leave Nigeria now and go to South Africa.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
In South Africa, the main story is the Gupta Indian brothers. A few years ago, we ran a story and we repeated it many times on this show about the Gupta brothers. This is a family that hijacked the state of South Africa and made it into their property. It's just like you hijacking a plane. You take over the plane and it becomes your personal property. This is what the Gupta family from India really did. Under Jacob Zuma, they took over South Africa. The Bell Pottinger scandal exposed them. So at one point, these Indian brothers escaped to the United Arab Emirate, and they thought they're going to run away from justice. So the South African government now, under Cyril Ramaphosa, has been trying to extradite the Gupta brothers to return to South Africa and face justice. So the way the law works, as a twist of fate, the courts in the United Arab Emirates were trying to oversee this case, but because of a technicality, they decided that they could not actually repatriate the Gupta brothers to South Africa to face justice. So right now, it looks like the Gupta brothers are exploring two new destinations which they think should be havens where they can run away from justice. And these two havens are the Central African Republic and La République du Cameroon. Because they feel that when they are in these two new havens, they will be untouchable. For a long time, we've told you that the Central African Republic is a no man's land. You have rebels fighting the fake government of Ashanti Touadera. And the Russians have been supporting this government. But once in a while, the rebels still come and wreak havoc. So this is even where Vladimir Putin is thinking that if things do not go well and he runs away from Russia, he will come to the Central African Republic. The Gupta brothers, the rich guys who have robbed South Africa, black people are suffering in South Africa. They have no jobs. But the Gupta brothers are stealing money. They are stealing the wealth of the country. They are running away, and they're not running away from justice. Where are they now? They are the United Arab Emirates. The South African government has been struggling to repatriate them so that they can face justice, but the law has made it impossible for them to return to South Africa. So now they are considering Central African Republic as a haven. Cameroon, La République du Cameroon, is their second consideration. they are also looking at this country as a way to run away from their crimes. I'm sure if they offer a whole lot of money, Paul Biya would accept them in exchange for the money. Because most of these guys love money. So if the money is good enough, and we know the Gupta brothers have a lot of money, so they may be able to buy their way and get this protection they need. These guys are like thugs. They are like gang leaders. So they will pay the Biya government a lot of money, then they would stay in Cameroon peacefully until people stop looking for them, then they go about their business. So isn't this sad? This is the sad story of African for you. Next, we take you to Uganda. In Uganda, you're still going to meet Yoweri Museveni, okay? He's been in power also for over 40 years. In fact, he took advantage of an uprising to come to power. Since then, he has eliminated all his rivals. He has eliminated all opposition. Even Bobby Wine, the young guy who even tries to talk against the government, is sidelined. Then you can even hear Yoweri Museveni's own son, who is also in the military, making a lot of noise on Twitter and other social media. So he's behaving like he is a leader in waiting. He's going to take over from his father. And so that's what people are speculating in Uganda. But a lot of people are just worried. If Yoweri Museveni covers his eyes, what is going to happen to Uganda? Well, they feel like Uganda is a powder cake. If Yoweri Museveni closes his eyes, the country is going to go down. Because Yoweri Museveni has not prepared any succession plan. He wants to be president and he wants to die as president. He wants to be president for life. His son is making a lot of musings on Twitter, Facebook, getting people tired with his nonsense. But his father is not yet to give up power. Okay? So we're thinking that after Yoweri Museveni, it's going to be chaos in Uganda. And as you know, Uganda is a country that has really been unfortunate. It looks like God has really punished the people of Uganda. God always gives them bad leaders for a long time. Look at them. Milton Obote, Idi Amin. So they always have bad guys running the country. And each of them comes and stays for long and doesn't want to leave. Then finally, we're going to land in Zambia.
Have you heard the latest healthcare news? There's been a medical programming breakthrough. Let's go to Ali and Ron for more.
Thanks, Seb. A Good Samaritan is offering Alexia HTC, a new EMR EHR to doctors for free. Certainly, this free offer will shake things up in the medical software industry. Alexia HTC is a David pitting itself against the Goliaths, Epic, Cerner, and Meditech, which are old and cost too much money. What happens if you figure out how to build a new EMR EHR on the web for pennies on the dollar? You give it away to the suffering physicians for free.
Want to learn more about how these two powerhouse solutions will help you win more business? Schedule a demo below. In just minutes, Alexia HTC can help you access a patient record, enter an order, write a note, prescribe a medication, generate a charge, and create a super bill. Plus, Alexia Care Corporation, the vendor of the new web application, offers full customer service and training support free of charge. Who can beat that?
A few months ago, when Hakainde Hichilema was running for president, he won popular acclaim. This guy has been beaten so many times by the government of Lungu, Mr. Lungu. Mr. Lungu has sold the country to the Chinese, so when the country was almost broke. So the country was having a lot of problems. Yet, Mr. Lungu was a dictator. So it is just the act of God that Hakainde Hichilema won the election and became president. When Hakainde Hichilema became president, we thought there is a new change coming for the people of Zambia, who were really clamoring because he himself has been a victim of dictatorship. Alas, already the guy now is turning into a dictator himself. He's making laws to chastise and punish and kill the opposition. He's making friends with America to distract people from his dictatorship. So a lot of journalists and the opposition parties are complaining in Zambia already. And we're trying to just amplify their voices. We're telling you that when this guy became president, he gave the impression that he's going to introduce a lot of changes. He's going to be a Democrat. But you see him now making friends with America. During the meeting of African leaders in Washington, we told you he was there selling the wealth of his country to Americans for nothing. You could see him standing while American bureaucrats were sitting down. They were treating him just like a little nigger who doesn't matter, who is not important. But that's the guy selling his country to Americans. A few weeks ago, we showed you on this show, even last week, we showed you the visit of Vice President Kamala Harris to Zambia. He met President Hakainde Hichilema. What was she doing there? Well, Hakainde Hichilema is the new poster boy of the United States. So they're going to be using him as their boy to do their bidding. Already, other African leaders in that region are weary of Hakainde Hichilema because they know that this is a guy who cannot be trusted. He's already playing with Americans and they are worried. What will happen after this? There's going to be a fallout. And that's what we're saying. Democracy will not come to Africa because the Africans themselves are sleeping with the enemy. The Africans are collaborating with the enemy to enslave their own brothers and sisters. And that's the way we portray President Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia. We think we've come to the end of our show, but before we go, we want to remind you that as a show, we put a lot of emphasis on building businesses. We think the only way we can free our people is by encouraging them to fight to buy their freedom. They have to buy economic freedom, political freedom, and social freedom. First, you buy your economic freedom by making sure that you can create your own job, by having a small business, by educating yourself, acquiring skills. And we are also helping people who want to acquire some of these skills. That's much of what we're doing now on this show. If you want to start a business, you can contact us. We'll help you to start the business. We'll give you all the assistance. We have all the knowledge. And we'll have a team. We'll have a network. So whatever you need, our network can really help you. Whether it is developing a business plan, writing policy and procedures, manuals for your business, getting a bank loan, we have you covered. So just call my number, 240-350-1131, and I will help you. I have a team in place that is ready to help whoever is ambitious and wants to start a business. So thank you very much. Happy Easter, and may God bless you.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.